covers the Bahamas better.
What's trending in business? Who's making major money moves? And how's it shaping your future? This is Economics, your front row seat to the biggest stories in business, innovation, and finance. Powered by the Sand Dollar, the digital currency of the Central Bank of the Bahamas. It's fast, secure, Bahamian. We're breaking down the numbers, the news, and what it means to you. Tune in every Thursday at 6 p.m. for the trends, the insights, and the stories that matter. Get informed, get inspired, get in the mix with Economics.
Coming this fall.
She had brown hair. She didn't even have red hair.
The contract signed does not indicate anywhere that I am in charge of her hair color.
More courtroom drama.
She rented these 60 chair covers from me.
The event was for my Grammy for her birthday.
Yes.
And my Grammy don't even know 65 people.
On Justice with Judge Carroll, Fridays at 8 p.m. Real cases, real judgment. Judge Carroll always gets it right.
Just discovered that I may have a son here in this land. How much child support is she getting from? The king pays no child support.
No child support for 30 years and you came back? You was a dummy.
I am Hakeem Jaffer, king of Zamunda. You are the heir to the throne.
Yes, my son.
He's supposed to be like the prince of Wakanda.
Wakanda is a fictional place.
Not to everybody. I don't need no handout.
Wait a minute.
All right, I'm gonna pack. Okay, baby.
Children, this is your brother.
Hey, Quine.
Ever occur to you that Meekum wanted to be your heir?
Would you dare banish me from my own bedroom? I have upset my family.
Must be strong.
Almost ready to become a prince.
Almost.
I'm a king, I'm a king, I'm a king. Coming to America, now it's coming to me. I'm a king, I'm a king, I'm a king.
I'm coming for y'all again.
Are you ready for the hardest sports show on the market? It's called The Timeout. Sundays on the ZNet Television Network. In our first show, 4 decades of sports in the country.
Planning the execution of a newscast is serious business. From the assignment to the concept of the story, everything has to be precise, on point, always. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, is your trusted news service. We get it right the first time. Our preparation for you each night is done with care, knowing that our voices will reach you on 700 islands and keys with unquestionable accuracy. It gives me great pleasure each night to say,
Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. I'm your national anchor, Mukesh Lapinder.
At Harold One, I'm Ted Jervis, and this is ZNS.
The Rundown is brought to you by Commonwealth Brewery Limited.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the show. It's great to have you with us for another night. Thanks so much for joining us. Well, we begin tonight with Morton Bahamas, Inagua's largest employer and a leading global salt producer, a company whose relations with the Bahamas spans nearly 7 decades and one whose name is inextricably linked to that southern island. Today, announced the company has a new owner. Corvo Pyram joins us live in studio tonight to tell us that the news caught many off guard. Good night, Corvo. What can you tell us?
Good evening, Clint. And you know, we were talking to residents today who reminded us that Morton hires about 60% of Inagua's workforce. In addition to that, it has also been a longtime community partner. And so the Luska Group's announcement today that its subsidiary, the Grand Bahama Salt Company Limited, has agreed to buy 100% of the shares of Morton Bahamas Limited on Wednesday was met with both uncertainty on Inagua as well as some optimism. Luska, headquartered here in the Bahamas, is an investment and trading company. Morton, Inagua's main employer with 78 employees, produces 1 million pounds of salt per year for the North American market. Morton's former general manager, Glenn Bannister, speaking with our news team about the sale to Luska just earlier today.
We know that they had meetings with their employees, but no public notice has been issued by the company. So no one really knows exactly what is going on or what is happening right now, other than what was stated in the news bulletin that the Grand Bahama Salt Company has purchased 100% shares of Morton Bahamas Limited.
The new owners plan to invest substantially on Inagua and expand salt production on Morton Bahamas' 300,000 acres. In the 1970s, Morton Bahamas had as many as 250 employees, but Bannister says attrition and mechanization have trimmed staff to around 70 today.
3 shifts of employees to do loading and 3 shifts of employees to do production. A loading conveyor was put in to do the loading aspects of that. So that allowed the company to capitalize on production more because the loading was done automatically instead of using, employees and moving it to the truck and taking it to a conveyor and dumping it into a hopper to go out to the dock and onto the ship.
He says the company held a meeting with staff recently, leaving Inagua's 950 residents cautiously optimistic.
We would hope that they would be and continue to invest locally in Morton Bahamas Limited and ensure all the jobs that are presently being had by the people who live there. So we can only hope for the best.
Well, after news broke, we were scrambling to learn more about the new company, Clint. And one of the things that we've learned about Luska is that it plans to develop large-scale opportunities in solar salt production as well as agro-industrial opportunities. So we look to learn more, and we will, of course, continue to follow this story for you. Back to you, Clint.
Thanks a lot, Corvo, from great reporting there. And of course, Morton Salt is something that a company that we know over the years. Well, we've said it. You've built Inagua and the town of Matthewtown around that business because that's where most of the people were employed. And they've had their woes over the years. They've had their issues, industrial issues, the unions, unrest, the whole full gamut of it. And now to see this new ownership, I can only imagine what people are feeling right now, whether this will kind of change what they've been experiencing for some years or whether this will negatively impact them further. But what we do know is it's the lifeblood of that economy. And of course, I'm sure government wants to have a hand in the part of whatever talks and negotiations are taking place to ensure that whatever's best happens for the people there, the residents there, right? Anything detrimental happening there will just be not good for the people of Inagua. So we're going to watch this story closely for you. Meantime, after weeks of uncertainty and, of course, a sense of calm now fills unified John Canoe community as eyes turn towards safeguarding its legacy. Amaya Moss explains.
Tensions between the Junkanoo Corporation of New Providence and the government have eased, signaling a path forward for the country's premier cultural expression. The standoff, which sparked concern over the future of our main cultural expression, left many Bahamians questioning whether the beat of the goatskin drum would fall silent this season. JCNP Chairman Dion Miller says after weeks of uncertainty, both sides have reached a resolution that restores confidence among Junkanoo.
We and the government are in a better place today. We are in the process of finalizing a MOU as regards to the parades for this year. As the minister stated, there will be no changes to how the JCNP and the government operate with our partners for this year, with a view that we come back to the table within 90 days after the conclusion of this year's parades to begin negotiations on a formalized commercial management agreement.
Miller emphasized that the JCNP will actively monitor and counter any threats to destabilize the structural core of our heritage.
And so the JCNP and Junkanoos going forward will be paying special attention now to what the plans that these political platforms put forward. The Free National Movement is already in contact, wanted to share what their plans and their vision is as relates to partnering with the JCNP and Junkanoo for the country and at whole. This current administration has already shown what their motivation is, and the COI is in the process of putting their platform together. So I think as Junkanoos, we too now have to pay attention to what these platforms as it pertains to culture involves, just like any other industry, because what they do really affects us.
As conversation continues and preparations begin, all eyes remain on Bay Street, where the focus now shifts from discussions to execution. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Amaya Moss.
Thanks a lot, Amaya. Some good news there, right? Because nobody wants Junkanoo in jeopardy. That's like stealing Christmas from Bahamians. So good news here to know that there is some peace in the middle at the end of the storm, and that Junkanoo can go on and people can look forward to the celebrations, particularly in the holiday season. We were all optimistic, hoping that things would go well. At the end of the day, the people who won are the people, right? I keep saying that it belongs to the people, and the people's will should be carried. And I think it was carried in this, and hopefully they'll be able to reach even more solutions as they come to an agreement with this legislation and with the authority, the proposed authority they want to bring into play. Well, we also want to tell you that right here at the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas, executives have made the bold decision to tap into new markets, and as it strengthens its focus on local content. ZNS has finalized agreements, of course, for programming to be in the Turks and Caicos, and now the possibility of it actually happening in Jamaica. Arnika Bannister has a story.
The Broadcasting Corporation is seeking to propel its reach in the Caribbean. After a successful link into the Turks and Caicos Islands, the focus is now on the growing regional market through Flow TV, offering television services in 20 Caribbean countries. Chairman Picewell Forbes is optimistic about the potential for ZNS.
So we are just proud to be here. We want to say to you, we look forward to us bringing our product, and also you avoiding some of your products also hopefully from this community back to us in the Bahamas. And this could only grow from strength to strength.
In Jamaica, Flow TV offers television services including channel packages and pay-per-view options. Manager of Finance Atara O'Sullivan is hoping to take this partnership to an even higher level.
On behalf of Flow, we're very honored to have this contract. We're looking forward to another 5+ years and the expansion into other markets in the CWC realm in the Caribbean with ZNS. So we're looking forward to that partnership. We're glad that we are here, and we can't wait to see what's to come.
General Manager Clint Watson shares his thoughts on the agreement, saying he is excited and looks forward to this partnership with Flow.
We believe that this unique partnership with Flow TV sets us up for that. Flow is regional. It's in various countries in the Caribbean, and that makes a kind of partnership that we need of a platform that is in various jurisdictions to carry the stories of the Caribbean people. And so we're very excited. We value this partnership with Flow TV. We look forward to growing it and sustaining it because of this impact that this company has regionally.
Deputy General Manager of Family Island Affairs, Darren Meadows, added that this collaboration will not only extend ZNS broadcast into Jamaica, but will also open the door for expansion into several other countries. He breaks down exactly how this will work.
The partnership really is a television signal carriage agreement where ZNS is put on the network in various countries, and so when you go to the Turks and Caicos Islands and you turn on your Flow TV, you could click to ZNS and see the news and see the content just as if you were in the Bahamas. And so that is what we are trying to broaden and go into different Caribbean countries, and so Jamaica is one that we really have our eyes set on, and we believe that we can make a mark if we do that.
This is a partnership that bridges the Bahamas, Jamaica, and beyond with vast potential for the corporation's growth and viability in the region. Reporting for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Arnika Bannister.
All right, great job there, ZNS. Keep doing great things. How do I give commentary on the story I'm involved in? But nonetheless, that's the greatness of the team here and the excellence they've been doing, and that the product here is being sought after in other countries, and we're excited about the team here who's making all of this possible. Congratulations to the staff here at ZNS. Well, we've got a mix of politics and education on tonight's show. It's a special week for the Progressive Party as officials celebrate its 4th anniversary in office and continues to boast about its accomplishments as a government that will benefit all Bahamians. Senator Randy Roll is here. He'll discuss the government's current record, including trade, diversification, and consumer affairs. Then, if you're a parent with a college-bound student, tonight's show, as usual, is for you. Representatives from several Bahamian, United States, and Canadian colleges are in town to facilitate the annual college fair, spearheaded by the Charlotte Knowles Thompson Agency. The goal is to ensure Bahamian high school students receive all the information they can get when making the decision to obtain a tertiary education. I'm looking forward to that conversation. Stay with us for an exciting show that begins on the next side of the break. You're watching The Rundown here on the ZNS Network. We're back after this.
I am a master plumber by profession. I've been doing plumbing for over 40 odd years. When I was 9 months old, I was diagnosed with polio. To me, living with polio, I took it the way it is. I never allowed my polio to get in my way of anything. In fact, I love when people doubt me, and I just prove them wrong. And let me tell you, in the world, you could only find a plumber as good as me, but you ain't gonna find no plumber better than me. People with disability, they just need a chance. In this program, I feel so encouraged. Most of the mentors have different kind of disability, but disabilities like me. Sharing and caring and showing so much support with people with disability. They would encourage you to go beyond. I wish this was around a long time ago. Right now, I would have been a millionaire. You out there who have a disability, don't be afraid. Take the step. If you believe it, you could achieve it. And remember one thing, ain't no one better than me, and ain't no one better than y'all. God made all us equal.
For more information about how the SBDC can help your small business to make a big impact, give us a call at 461-7232 or visit sbdcbahamas.com.
The draw promo, take 1.
Blessings, this is the ancient man.
All right, the draw promo, take 2.
You prefer to give them McDonald's before you could give them peas and rice?
Man, ancient man, what you doing, man? Take 3.
If the bugger man ever beg you, don't give him none. If he try to hold you and hide your great God, break off and run. If he say you look sweet and juicy, watch it. He just wants some, cause if the bugger man ever bite you, meow. The Drop. I don't mean drop nothing, it's the Drop Show. It's music, culture, art, entertainment.
Trust me, y'all ain't never want to miss this energy on The Drop.
So you could drop for the drop.
Yeah, little mama, bust the drop. Look out for the drop coming this fall.
The Ministry of Social Services, Information and Broadcasting is partnering with the Bahamas Christian Council to help build stronger Bahamian families.
I believe that our ultimate experience in living begins with God and family.
Our purpose is to facilitate, guide, inspire, and equip you to have a better life.
And a strong family foundation begins with each of us trying to become better individuals. Let's unite.
For a stronger Bahamas.
This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Social Services, Information and Broadcasting, the heartbeat of the nation, leading Bahamians from dependency to self-sufficiency to economic empowerment.
Welcome back. Progressive Liberal Party leader, Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis, is grateful to Bahamians everywhere for working with his administration to elevate the Bahamas over the past 4 years. It's been his message all week. The PLP's team is comprised of proud Bahamians who are eager to ensure Bahamians live the life they deserve. One of them is Senator the Honorable Randy Roll. He's worn many political hats, and currently he's Executive Chairman of the Bahamas Consumer Protection Commission. He's made several appearances on our show, and we're always happy to have him back. Welcome back, sir. Good to have you.
Thank you. It's happy to be here. Wow.
So let's talk about it, because all week has been about focusing on the achievements of this administration, what they've done, daring the opposition parties criticize and say whether they believe anything was done at all. But I want to start first with the mission, because the question really is a recent trip to the People's Republic of China focusing on economic diversification. Report back to us and tell us how did that go and the accomplishments out of that.
Well, Clint, it was an excellent presentation that we were able to, a group from the Bahamas, including, persons who are part of the Ministry of Economic Affairs, along with the private sector. We were able to visit several places in China and kind of get an insight as to what they have to offer. Mind you, in the last couple of years, we have noticed that a number of Bahamians more and more are deciding to ship from China. And so it was important for us to, in terms of diversification, understanding the entire process and how best we can fit in to be able to make sure that this transition is as smooth as possible for Bahamians.
When we look at trade internationally, what are some of the things that you're looking for as somebody who's dealing with economic diversification to benefit the Bahamas?
Well, again, in terms of pricing, again, that's a big thing for Bahamians. The quality of products, and again, the ease of business and getting the products here. And so those are three of the main things. Bahamians want products that are reliable, they can trust, and the process of getting it here is easy. And so it meant, going to some of these warehouses, which we were able to go to, speaking with them. Mind you, we're not just talking about diversification anymore. We're at the table, we're on the ground, we're making sure that we understand the process, and it's there to benefit Bahamians far and wide.
Do we have a number yet on how many countries are willing to diversify with the Bahamas?
Well, I can tell you that, the Trade Commission under Barry Griffin, who is Senator and Chairman of that commission, have already done some stuff in Africa. They've been to Jamaica. They're talking with Panama and a number of different places. And a number of these places we do business with already, but we're finding that, the quality is good. We're finding that the prices are good, and Bahamians are starting to catch on. They're starting to use it. They're interested in understanding, and they're going with us. Some small businesses are going with us and saying, hey, it's not that bad. Let's try it. And so once you're able to try things, see that it works for the purpose in which you want, then, that's going to be a benefit for all.
I was about to ask you that, because we have a lot of Bahamians who shop online, right? There's a big market, people ship now to the shipping companies. Should Bahamians be perhaps considering looking at products from other countries, other than traditional countries we purchase from, the United States, China? Are there deals out there, particularly retail, that Bahamians should be looking at and then purchasing online and shipping it?
Oh, most definitely. As a matter of fact, one of the main places that we were able to communicate with and talk to is a company called Alibaba and Shine. Those are companies that Bahamians already use.
That's right. That's right.
Exactly.
That's right.
And so understanding that process and the protocols that are associated with shipping from places such as that was great insight for us. From a consumer protection standpoint, we were able to, again, get an insight. So even if there's something that happens during that process, we now have a contact in who to call and get an understanding, and of course, the quality of the product. And so I can tell you that on this trade mission as well was quality standards was not only consumer protection, but places from BBSQ,
right,
which deals with standards, and we are trying to mirror our standards based on international standards, and so that is something that's good. That is something that Bahamians can feel proud about and be confident about. That listen, once products come from these places that we would have been, they are quality products, and there is a process.
What are the items that are in demand that the government wants to import? Are there particular items that you're thinking of that will make great opportunities and benefits to the Bahamian people if you're able to import it from those countries?
Well, what I can tell you, one of the things that has been up there on the charts has been building supplies. And so, many Bahamians are looking for affordable ways to build. And so that has been probably the major one. There are some people who are looking at meats. There are others who are interested in clothing supplies and windows, and there's so much. I mean, there's so much out there that, to go there and to discover for yourselves. And of course, then there's new industries.
Right.
So someone may be in one industry and you go there and you're like, hey, this is a good deal. Let's look at it. And so this creates that opportunity. So again, Clint, we're not just talking about it. We're at the table, we're going out there, we're making it happen. And I think that is game-changing,
After 4 years in office, why would you encourage Bahamians to support the Progressive Party? And in answering that, what are the particular things that you think have happened through the areas you've had responsibility of that weren't in existence before that you believe speaks to the growth of the administration?
Well, for me, Clint, most important is that the Davis administration is delivering on its promises. They promised the Bahamian people that they were going to be transparent on a number of things. They were going to find a way to ease the cost of living for them. When we first came to office, these are things that we came out of the block doing, it was a transition in the beginning, but again, that was a smooth process. And so everyone has been busy working, making sure that we're delivering on things that we say that we would, the cost of living, trade diversification, being able to, again, help the cost of living go down. And this is something that we're not just talking about it, Bahamians are feeling it. We've also changed the laws and updated the laws on consumer protection. And so, like I said, for the 4 years that we've been in office, I can tell you that if you total the amount of monies that we were able to put back in the pockets of Bahamians, it's a little over $500,000. And so this is monies that would have been lost. That again, this is one of the many part of the bigger plan to create the cost of living, help the cost of living for Bahamians. And so we're proud that that is one of the things that's happening. And I think that, Bahamians are going to be pleased because there's lots more to come. And so it's a process. We started it, and it's going well.
So about starting processes, what do you see happening next, particularly with being able to ensure the protection of consumers? What's the next? We now at a place where people can call and report if there are concerns, something that we didn't see happen in the past. We now see people actually taking advantage of it and actually getting results from it. But what would you like to see the future for the Bahamas when we talk about consumer protection?
Well, again, we want to get to a place where you can know what you're getting.
Right.
You understand the process of what you're getting, and it's delivered in time. For example, I can tell you one of the things that we're putting in place is a verified vendors program. This is a certification program, and again, it's based on international standards, where you know that the quality of product you're getting is good because it's gone through those international standards, and this is something that is exciting. So we're working on the verified vendors program. That's going to be good. I can tell you that in China and other places, we've seen it done. So we're not reinventing the wheel. It's something that's been tried, been proven, and we're excited to use it for the benefit of Bahamians here. I can also tell you that the Davis administration is working on an app which again, and that's like at the final stages, where you will be able to, for example, you want to buy a loaf of bread. You can go on this app and look to see which places have the bread and at the cost, which you can find it. Yes, exactly. And so you can compare prices even before you go there. I think this is a game changer. I think it will be a game changer for Bahamians, because Bahamians want to find a way to ease the burden, to make sure that they're getting extra for the dollar. Right. And this program is one of many that will allow you to do that. So we have a Affordable Bahamas program, and it's a part of a holistic program that will, again, help with the cost of living at the end of the day.
So on this 4th anniversary, what do you say to people who say at the end of the day, is it worth it? Should I keep my hands in the Progressive Liberal Party? Should I move and give an alternative a chance? What do you say to people like that?
I say that under Philip Brave Davis and that administration, you have a proven leader who has shown that he is ready for the task, who is surrounded by good persons who are ready for the task, who has done it. We have been able to affect and create some things, cause some things to happen already. And again, we are headed in the right direction. I believe that come next term, you're going to see even more. And so it's a government that's headed in the right direction. Now, I understand that there are some opposition, some people, but and that's cool, because what is good for the Bahamian people is bad for the FNM. And so we understand why some people may feel otherwise, but you know, I just say look at the track record, look at the things that's been happening, and I think will continue to happen under a Davis-led administration.
All right, Ryan Leroy, it's always a pleasure, Senator, to have you here and talk to us, especially on the anniversary. Thanks for coming. Much appreciated.
Yes, thank you.
All right, and stay with us.
And before we leave, I want to also wish Bishop Neil Ellis a happy birthday.
Yes, he's celebrating today, the good bishop. I joined him that too. Happy birthday to Bishop Ellis. When we come back, we'll introduce you to one of the country's aspiring political candidates. And he has a powerful message. And you'll meet him right after the break. Stay close.
Get this straight to our new sales and marketing office, Centerville House, 5th floor, ASAP.
New sales and marketing office, Centerville House, 5th floor, quick.
New sales and marketing office in Centerville House, 2nd Terrace West, 5th floor, on my way.
Sales and Marketing Office, Centerville House, 2nd Terrace West, 5th floor.
You could have caught a ride with me. We're only a block away from ZNS.
ZNS Sales and Marketing has moved to the 5th floor, Centerville House, 2nd Terrace West. For more information, call 502-3800.
Why can't I find my own wife?
We've gone to a great deal of trouble to select for you a very fine wife. Where will you find such a woman?
In America. We're in New York now. Let us dress as New Yorkers. I feel like a complete idiot.
Have either of you ever had any fast food work experience before?
This will be our first job in the United States. I am Akeem.
It's nice to meet you, Akeem.
I have recently been placed in charge of garbage.
That's good to know.
Greetings, Your Highness.
Who was that?
Eddie Murphy.
Just the man I met in the restroom.
Arsenio Hall. In a comedy fable, coming to America.
The internet isn't just for surfing. There's a sea of shoppers buying online, and you can connect with them on Tingsy. Tingsy is the SBDC's online storefront built for Bahamians. Take your business to the next level by selling to customers online, both at home and around the world. People want Bahamian things, and if you got things to sell, sell on Tingsy. Find out how you can connect with a sea of buyers by visiting tingsybahamas.com.
Welcome back to the show. A special good evening to all of you who are in the Lions Den on Facebook. I see you here. And then, of course, those of you watching by YouTube or if you're watching around the country on Flow TV, Cable Bahamas, Turks and Caicos, we know you're there. And, of course, those of you in the region and around the world all tuned in. Always a pleasure to have you here on The Rundown. Thanks for joining us. Well, many Family Islanders are making the move to enter the national political arena by throwing their hat in the ring to become a candidate in the 2026 general elections. One of them is Harbor Island and Lutheran native Joseph John Presenti, better known to most people in the community as JJ. The businessman, local government councillor, and realtor is aspiring to become the Progressive Liberal Party's candidate for North Eleuthera. He's here to discuss his potential plans for North Eleuthera and, of course, ignoring the critics, talking about why he believes he's the best candidate and the man for the job. Welcome to the show. Welcome to The Rundown. It's great to have you here tonight.
Thank you for having me.
So listen, people have heard about you. People have seen the work that you've done. Let's find out exactly who you are. Tell us a little bit about JJ Presenti, who you are, your background, and what's brought you to this point.
Well, I grew up in Harbor Island. My navel string is still actually buried there.
Wow.
Both my families are from there, the Mosses, the Neelys. Obviously, my grandmother was Ma Ruby Presenti, who ran the Tingham Village Hotel for many years. She's a Hannah Hasty Times, so you can imagine what it's like to grow up. It's a lot of history. But I went to St. Augustine's and then went to university in Nova Scotia, but decided to come back home. And I wanted to get back home to Harbor Island because obviously Harbor Island started growing and booming, more hotels. The rest of the world sort of came to us. And as I was living there and starting my businesses, I started discovering more and more of Eleuthera. We weren't necessarily allowed to cross the water when we were younger, but as adults, we started going to Spanish Wells for the day. We started picking hog plums in Bogue and Bluff, and we started getting our pineapples from Gregory Town. So you start to love and you get friends and you see everybody come over every day and you see how much people in the north work together. And you fall in love with that. That becomes home. So that's how...
It's interesting you say that because I'm sitting here thinking, how do you kind of sum up North Eleuthera constituency? Because it's made up of so many diverse communities. You have the Harbor Island, then you have the Spanish Wells, then you have the Bluff, Lower Bogue, Upper Bogue, those communities. Everyone seems so different. Are you seeing over the years now more integration rather than separation of those communities?
We are one North.
Wow.
We have one vision and we have one mission and we have one vision. And obviously that is to take care of our brothers and sisters. On a daily basis, many persons, they bring their fish from the mainland, they come to Harbor Island. Harbor Island is when we want to get away from how busy it is. We go to North Eleuthera.
Wow.
We support each and everyone's homecomings. We actually enjoy each other, and that's what makes North Eleuthera extremely special. We actually move as a team, and that's something that is a characteristic that only I think I've experienced here or in North Eleuthera.
Why frontline politics? You've been in the community, you've been working in the community, working in local government, working in the business community. Why now this step to politics?
So I want to make sure and clear the air. I am a Progressive Liberal Party. I believe in our Prime Minister and our Deputy Prime Minister and the leaders, and we have some great examples of members of Parliament, including our current sitting Member of Parliament, Mr. Sylvanus Petty. I got to work, I've known him for a long time, and that's a friend of mine, so I consider him family. Working along with him got me so excited because it was front line. He would come and tell ideas. His team would just start working and working and working. And when he sort of mentioned to me, JJ, I may not be, you know, wanting to do this again. I said, no, you got to do it. You got to do it. I got to do it. And then he said, no, we made it official. And I kept saying, you know, I'll support you.
Right.
But if you don't go, if you don't mind passing the baton on to me, I would be very grateful, because I can continue the work that you and the goals you've been working with and continue on with the home that we both love. And many other aspirants came in the race, people who were not from North Eleuthera.
Wow.
And it just gave me more drive. My fire started, you know, the team started the fire. We sort of said, this seat belongs to somebody from Eleuthera, who lives in Eleuthera, and who has Eleutherians at the best interest of heart. If it is not Mr. Petty, my team felt that it should be me. So we have to see what the PM says and what the council says and what Mr. Petty does. So as we sit and wait, I will support my party, and I will support Mr. Petty, and we support, well, we PLPs, you know, we support anybody who comes. That's the way of our nature of the institution of the PLP. But we need to win the seat, and we need to make sure that the seat remains PLP. So that's a factor that I think needs to be considered.
You raise an important issue. Is the seat winnable by the PLP again?
The PLP has been doing tremendous work around the country, especially with the starting of the new airport. That has shown the commitment of the Progressive Liberal Party to this country. And Mr. Petty has worked, and he's been behind a lot of it. Along the way, there's been great team members that have definitely pulled up the stacks and filled in the gap. And, you know, if he wasn't present, they were there. But the Progressive Liberal Party we've been improving. Ms. Jobette Kobe Davis, she's improving the electricity. Yes, it's still a little not where we want it to be, but she hasn't given up. Glennis Hannah Martin is constantly working with the district superintendents and the principals to get the right teachers in the schools, get people who care about education, get people who want to do their jobs. This Progressive Liberal Party, as you can see with the Prime Minister, he's about putting people in place who want to do their job and who do their job efficiently and effectively. So the Progressive Liberal Party has a great chance of winning the seat in North Eleuthera.
What are the concerns right now as a North Eleutheran? What is it that the community needs that you believe that a leadership led by you or a seat led by you could bring to North Eleuthera?
One of the items I think North Eleutherians would like to do is to be involved with the decision makings before the decisions have been made. We're going to give you the details. The results will be based on facts. We're there every day. We know the cries that we go through. So when it comes to sort of infrastructure, and the fact is that our evolution of the North Eleuthera economic part of it has outgrown some of that infrastructure. And these are certain items where when we want to feel like a priority, if we are at the forefront, the voice of the people, yes, Mr. Petty has said a lot of the voice of the people, but you got to play the politics. You got to obviously get in those meetings. Get behind those doors that when the timeline and all of the vision of the pipeline, the constituents of the North Eleuthera constituency are present and can voice their concerns.
When we talk about some of the plans you want to bring, one of the things you were telling me before is Bryland Aid. What is that?
Well, Bryland Aid is not something that I want to bring. Bryland Aid is something that I've participated in. In 2020, the pandemic hit, and we were very scared. A lot of people who had resources came out of the pandemic with very little resources.
Wow.
And people who had no little resources are still trying to get above water. The way that Bryland Aid was set up was that we had Job Corp and we had relief. The idea was that we cannot tell people what to do with their money.
Right.
So let's get into the sanitation part of it. Everyone was custodians. We cleaned Harbor Island. We did some of the government buildings. We painted over 70 homes. We removed, I think it was 140 tons of trash.
Wow.
Old derelict vehicles, old boats. But what it did was it gave about 80 to 120 persons at one time a paycheck at the end of the week.
Wow.
We also fed those persons 3 hot meals a week and 2 cold meals. Then there was relief. So most people, when they think of giving something to someone, is a box with tuna and the basic necessities.
Right.
And I think that that's admirable. What we decided to do was to complement those persons who were doing that, and we added hams, turkey, chickens, we added ground beef, we did propane, we did propane, we did sanitation napkins, healthcare, all of the things that if you didn't have it, at least it was in a little box that you can just go. I mean, a deodorant is like $9.
Wow.
So during this time, over those years, the CapEx projects also included a new tennis court on Harbor Island, a brand new playground. We resurfaced the basketball courts and we put in new rims. So these were things that you could tangibly see, but these were done through a public-private partnership. People who don't have businesses, but people who live in the North, who decided that because they love where they live so much, to protect the integrity of the people during that time by just providing a little bit of support without asking for anything. These are people who pay their taxes. They employ, whether it's the gardener, whether it's the maid, whether it's the person who's painting or the construction worker, but they recognized that during that time, they had to do their part if they truly cared about the North, and they did that.
So there's a real spirit of self-empowerment for the community.
And that is what we would take into Parliament. Self-empowerment for the people on an everyday basis. There are farmers that are out there that want the packing house to get right back where it was. But some days the machinery, you know, is on other jobs. So that's something that we need to take a look at. We also need to take a look at these small businesses who just need to get into a portal, somebody to show them how to register their business, get their TIN number, and how to do their tax compliance, and how to be up to date with all of these requirements. The local government offices, you know, obviously, if we can create just 2 computers for some kids who don't have the computers, the libraries. I used to have a library card, but used to go to the Fox Hill Library. Right. But back then there weren't, I'm not that old, but there were computers with printing and Google, but you would take out your books and you would get your research and your encyclopedias. These libraries, if we could just update them through public-private partnerships, we accept donations. Most people, when they hear someone wants to accept a donation to the government, we have a reservation. And that reservation is dated. That reservation is not progressive. Not everybody wants something back in return. Some people still have a heart, and if they live here, they want to make sure that their investment, what they have into the ground, some of these homes are $40 million, $60 million homes.
Wow.
They want to ensure that the community that they've invested in thrives, not just survive, but actually thrives.
I have to get this clear, because I know this has been an issue, and I know I'm running out of time, but the issue of commoners' land and land for the people, is that still a concern on not Harbor Island, but in North Eleuthera itself?
We have a communist committee, and they have effectively put in proper protocols for you to register your communist, keep up to date with your payments. Obviously, they've had to hire a lawyer so that we can truly be up to date with registering of communist land. What we do need to work on is Crown land. There's a number of persons who have been given a paper to say you have been granted Crown land, but it's not been registered. We've collected a little spreadsheet that instead of one person going by themselves, we hope to create a list, and everybody is represented as one voice and as one North for those persons who would like to get the clear titles for the land that they've already built on and have been living on for 10 to 15 years.
JJ, sounds like you're not just putting plans together, you're already involved in making a difference.
This is what you do when you're at home.
Wow. Thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you.
It sounds impressive, sounds exciting. Definitely, we wish you the best in your endeavors and in your run. Thank you for being on the rundown tonight.
Thank you very much.
And stay with us. When we come back tonight, we've been talking about the scholarships. That weekend has come, and what you need to do to get your child qualifying. Some of the colleges are here to talk a little bit about that. You're watching The Rundown here on the ZNS Network. We're back after this. Stay close.
What about you, what?
Well, I thirsty too, you know.
You want to see all the water out there?
Well, why you don't give me your water, and then you go try and drink that salt water?
You crazy, eh?
I ain't the one talking to a dog, you know.
Ain't nobody could drink salt water.
Then why you won't give it to me? All dogs need fresh, cool water and sufficient shelter from the sun all year round, especially on the beach and during the hot summer months.
Summers are very hot here in the Bahamas, so please make sure all pets have ample, cool, fresh water in proper containers and sufficient shelter from the sun, even on the beach. And make sure all dog houses and kennels have proper ventilation. Let's make it Bahamian to be humane.
This message has been brought to you by the Bahamas Humane Society and the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
There are over 3 million shipwrecks on the ocean floor, just waiting to be found. Nothing is truly ever lost at sea, only hidden by time and sand. When I put this fleet together, it wasn't just for fun. And although we do have fun, we never lose sight of our goal. Right here, right now, we are on a mission.
Coming this fall.
She had brown hair. She didn't even have red hair. The contract signed does not indicate anywhere that I am in charge of her hair color.
More courtroom drama.
She rented the 60 chair covers from me.
The event was for my Grammy for her birthday.
Yes.
And my Grammy don't even know 65 people.
On Justice with Judge Carroll, Fridays at 8 p.m. Real cases, real judgment. Judge Carroll always gets it right.
Tired of looking at the same old kitchen? Step 1. Our talented recommended designer Mark crafts a custom design just for you. Step 2. Once your design is ready, CBS Bahamas makes ordering effortless. Your dream kitchen is within reach. Step 3. Our recommended installers bring your vision to life, ensuring every detail is perfectly in place. Sit back and relax as your dream space becomes a reality. Visit cbsbahamas.com and start bringing your home improvement dreams to life today.
Let's go.
At Frame Studio, as soon as you enter the door, we showcase any individual that comes in there and make it feel like they are at home. The space itself is 1,800 square foot. Our side wall, which is industry standard also, is 24 feet wide. You could do anything that you can possibly think of. At Frame Studio, under our theme, Now Create More, we look at Frame Studio as a canvas. And any artist know a canvas is blank, and then you create whatever you want to do, right? So we have where you could rent tools. We even have workstations that people could rent out. To anyone inspiring to do what I've done, or what my colleagues have done, or any other journey, I would say to you, don't be afraid. The worst someone can actually tell you is no. So if you have a vision, you have an idea, not everyone will get it. But if you believe in your vision, you believe in your idea, I say go wholeheartedly at it.
For more information about the Creative Entrepreneurs Initiative and the Crafting the Bahamas workshops, email info@sbdcbahamas.com or call us at 461-7232.
Well over 1,000 students have already registered to attend the annual college fair that will feature about 30 tertiary institutions from here in the Bahamas, the United States, and indeed Canada. Now, if you're a parent and you're looking for a college fair, you're a high school student, you will want to attend the college fair that begins this Friday, September 19th through Sunday. Get it? September 19th through Sunday the 21st at the Holy Trinity Activity Center in Stapleton Gardens. Now, returning to the set is, of course, Charlotte Knowles Thompson Agency, CEO and founder, Charlotte Knowles Thompson, and, of course, Mr. Maury Smith, who is the Assistant Director of Enrollment at the Savannah College of Art and Design, which is simply known as worldwide as SCAD. And, of course, indeed, it's great to have both of you on the show. Welcome.
Thank you
Welcome
so
to the
much.
Bahamas.
Thank you for having me.
So Charlotte, it's finally time, right? We've been talking about this, leading up to this. How do you feel?
I am excited. I'm so excited. And then to have my favorite people on the island, right?
I thought I was your favorite people.
But you know, you...
Okay.
Hello,
I live here then. Okay.
You live here. He brings many scholarships.
I understand.
So you know.
Talk to us about what are you expecting to happen this weekend?
I want to see students. I want to see parents. We want to see parents walk with their children because ultimately they make the decision, right?
Right.
We wanted to come and have a conversation with the SCADs and all the other universities who are present and find out what it is that they have to offer Bahamian students. Come and see what's possible. You know, if you have a dream, it starts with a dream.
Yeah.
You know, come with that in mind, come to really explore and to find out what's next.
Should students bring anything? Because sometimes people show up at college fairs and they just come walking and say, well, I don't know what to bring. What should they bring?
I don't necessarily think they need to bring anything with regard to document. I think they need to come with their curiosity. Also, absolutely, and then also come knowing what they're interested in. Sometimes, of course, you may not know the specific program that you're interested in, but if we just have an idea of the things that you are now finding passion around, that helps us align that with the different programs that SCAD has, as well as the other institutions that would be participating.
Well, what are you looking for as an institution when you come to these college fairs? What are you looking for?
We're looking for students who are academically sound, first and foremost. We're looking for students who are teachable. Teachable, right? We don't expect you to come knowing everything about the thing that you want to ultimately become, but we want you to be an open mind, an open vessel, and committed to the education.
Now, how can you determine that at a college fair? Whether somebody's teachable.
I can't fully determine that at the college fair, but I can get a sense of this may be a good fit for you. But as we go through our admission process, we have a lot of different credentials that we have as a part of what they will be submitting, but then we also have an opportunity to really engage with all of those students through conversations and interviews to really help us kind of make that determination.
How do you determine what level of support you will give a student, whether somebody will get, you know, something to help, something that really is impacting, or something that's a full ride all the way? How do you determine that?
Sure. So with regard to the scholarships that SCAD offers, we have two primary scholarships, one being our academic-based scholarship, and that will be based on the student's academic performance, whether they are a high school student. I know that we also work with University of Bahamas here, so we're looking at those students academically with regard to their performance there at a university level as well. So that's where the academic-based scholarship comes from. Our achievement-based scholarship is really giving that student an opportunity to show us who they are creatively, but then how well-rounded are you? So then we're looking at credentials like their portfolio, where they get to demonstrate that creative ability, and then through their resume. I tell students, I like to call it your brag sheet. That's where you let it rip. Right? That's where you get to tell us about not just those things that you do academically, but talk about any types of honors, awards, or achievements that you may have ascertained throughout your studies, and then talk about the things that you do outside the classroom as well. Because when we start looking at students holistically, when you think about maybe this is a student who does volunteer work out of school, right? Maybe they do philanthropic things in their community. This not only speaks to what's on that resume, but it also says this student obviously has good time management ability. Because if they're balancing their academics and doing well and doing all of these things outside, that also kind of speaks to their leadership potential as well.
So it's not just about academics.
It's not just about academics.
If I get the 4.0, I good. I don't do nothing else outside of school, I should be able to get the scholarship.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not, because you have to understand, for a university like SCAD, we are global. We have over 18,000 students from over 110 different countries.
Wow.
So these students are in a process where we're not competing against each student, but you have to keep in mind we're looking at a lot of different students who are also vying for those opportunities to come to the university.
So, you know, I'm going to ask you, all those countries, all those students.
Bahamas.
How do they stack up? How do they perform?
Yeah, and you know what? I'm actually going to be very transparent. You all are absolutely phenomenal.
Wow.
And it really kind of speaks to a lot of the alumni that I can point to. I don't know if they want me to name them here tonight, but you all have an amazing, amazing track record at SCAD, and it continues to build. And I just want to say this publicly. We are super, super excited because we actually just signed a joint partnership with Charlotte Knowles
Congratulations, Charlotte.
Agency. So she will now serve as a local advocate and resource on ground for students, and I'll be working directly.
She got y'all covered.
Listen, I fell in love with this lady from day one.
Yes.
and her spirit, but then also just to see how committed and dedicated she is to the lives and the future of these students, that spoke to me and resonated in a very, very special way. So she is a friend, but now she's also a partner, and I look forward to the amazing things that she's going to do.
Charlotte, when you hear a lot of what he's saying, and I'm smiling because a lot of what he's saying is what you've been saying for so many times.
Exactly.
The message is the same. And so if they didn't hear it or didn't want to receive it from their own, they certainly heard it from the institutions themselves. And that's why it's so important to start now.
Exactly. Start now, right? Because it becomes overwhelming. It really, truly does. You hear all the information that they have to submit. And especially if you're an art student.
Absolutely.
The portfolios.
Right.
You know, you cannot waste time on social media. You cannot waste time. I talk about being outside of the classroom, giving back, go and volunteer your time. This is what the universities are looking for, well-rounded students. I say that all the time.
And can I make one more point really, really quickly? Yes, we are Savannah College of Art and Design, but I don't want anyone to take for granted that we are just an art school. SCAD is the University for Creative Careers.
Wow.
That's a big, big difference. And what we do uniquely different and uniquely well is, yes, we help to cultivate that creative gift, because that's exactly what that is. But simultaneously, we're actually helping our students develop the business acumen around what they're doing creatively, so that that is what connects directly into industry.
Wow. There are so many colleges to choose from, and I can imagine for a student, it must be overwhelming, because you're sitting there like, where do I start? How do I find the perfect school? How do I find something that's going to be something that I look forward to? How do you pick the perfect university and make sure that it's the right one for you?
I think it starts with having a conversation. This college fair gives you that opportunity to do that. Come and have a conversation with Mr. Smith, you know, and have a heartfelt conversation with him. And in speaking with him, you get to fall in love with what he's saying, and then you want to see more. You know, that's how you decide, where do I want to be? How does he treat me? The way he treats me is a direct result of what I would experience on his campus.
Wow.
Right? And so you want to start.
No pressure.
No pressure.
I know, right? I was going to say, you better be right. You better wake up right.
Right? But that's how you fall in love with the university. You know? You have representatives that come, and I can tell you everything about SCAD, but it's nothing like hearing it from him yourself, right? And Maurice is here because he's on island. Everybody is still en route, right? And so this might miss my ride or die.
And then one more, I think, extremely important part of that process: visit the locations where you are possibly attending.
Why is that important?
Stepping into an environment is very different than researching an environment.
Yes.
That's loaded.
Hello.
That's loaded.
It's just like when a woman is searching for her perfect wedding dress. It only takes that one time to put on that perfect dress.
And they know it.
And they know it. But they don't know it until they put it on.
Right.
So that putting on process is stepping onto these campuses, because you're walking into the culture of that institution. And if that resonates with you, that can be the game changer.
Is location also an important factor? And when I say location, sometimes kids like schools, and they say, okay, it's a perfect school, and they recognize schools maybe 3 hours out of town, and they recognize that, oh, how am I going to get stuff? I need stuff. Or they recognize it might be in town, and there's a lot of distraction because it's in the city, and you don't get the focus. Sometimes location plays a role.
But I want to say this first. If you're going to get distracted when you go to school, you're not ready to go to school.
Oh, there you go.
Hello. You understand? If you're going to get distracted, then you need to stay home, because the university is serious. And if you're going there on somebody's scholarship, you need to prove to me and continue to prove to me that you deserve that scholarship. And so if you come in to get away from mommy and chores and responsibilities,
wrong purpose.
Stay home.
This is one of the most important transitional pieces or processes for young people leaving home for the first time. Right? And that environment is going to play a really, really pivotal role in how that young person starts to develop. Right? It is going to be extremely important that they feel connected to the community that they're in, that they are able to logistically, you know, do the day-to-day things, that they will now be responsible for themselves. Mommy, daddies, they're not there anymore. Right? So location is going to be extremely important. That's why when you're going to visit the different institutions, I can only speak for us. We make sure that we get you out into the community just for that short amount of time so that you can kind of get a taste of what these environments are like where we place our campuses.
Good stuff. So Charlotte, I got to tell you, tell everybody what they need to know for this weekend and where it's going to happen, when it's going to happen, so they can all be there and not miss this opportunity.
And so I really want persons to register in advance. It speeds up the process because we want to be able to give at the end of the college fair, Maurice, your information so that he can now follow up with you. And that information needs to be correct. When you come to the door, yes, we will help you, but you make mistakes because you're rushing because a lot of people behind you. And so ideally, I want you to register in advance. This coming weekend, beginning Friday, September 19th, Saturday, September 20th, and Sunday, because we want to meet everybody. Some people don't come out on Saturdays, right. And so we're there for those that don't come out on Saturdays. We're there on Sunday as well on the 21st at the Holy Trinity Activity Center in Stapleton Gardens. Everybody should come out, 376-7798. You don't even need to talk to me. Just WhatsApp text that number and you'll get an automated response with a link to register. Take your time, pay attention to what you're doing. I tell students, pay attention. It's very important to pay attention to what you're doing to ensure your email address is correct.
Absolutely.
Hello, your cell phone number is correct because you don't want the universities to be running. You don't want to miss opportunities. You don't know what they're calling you for.
There you go. There you go. Wow. Good stuff. Good stuff there. Congratulations, Charlotte.
Thank you so much.
On the anniversary. And Maurice for being here. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
I hope you
for
pick up
having
some
me.
very good students. Hopefully.
We will. Always.
Absolutely.
All right. So thank you both. That does it for the show for the right now. Be sure to stay locked to the ZNS network for the Bahamas tonight at 11. It's the final newscast in the country with the latest news and information with Colville Pipe Firm. For all of us here at ZNS, I'm Clint Watson. Thanks so much for joining us. Have a good night, everyone.